Hello, dear people, and welcome to second week of NEC videos. It will be shorter with less information, but never mind, you need also to know this in order to do good sales on our meeting. So welcome to first video, which will be about exchange standards and what actually is it about. As you can see here, how we can make experience of one EP perfect. So first, we will go through what are actually exchange standards and why are they important. First of all, exchange standards are things that we are obliged to do, so we must do them before, during, and after EP exchange. So you will see later what are these things, but we must do these things. And why we must do the things? Because there are some minimums to fulfill in order to make EP's experience perfect. So we have some things defined that we need to do, and then when we do it, we actually know that our EP's experience was good, and that was defined like years ago, and we all as ISEC in whole countries respect these standards in order to make a good EP experience. So here are they. I will explain to you now everything. There are 16 of exchange standards, and they're divided in 3 groups. Some of them we do in preparation phase, as you remember from customer flow phases. Then some of them we do in experience phase, and some of them we do in post-experience phase. So after EP gets back from experience. But what is also important that they're divided also. What do we do is OGX, we are a home entity, and host entity is actually ICX, who takes care of our EP. For example, our EP goes to, I don't know, Poland, so ICX in Poland needs to take care of these host standards because they're hosts, and we take care of these first 3 and this last one in post-experience phase, but nevertheless, we need to know every one of them so we can explain to EP how does our exchange look like. Okay, so from preparation standards, as I said, we as OGX must do these first 3 ones, and this is something that must be done by ICX. But as you can see, they all happen before the first day of work, so before exchange officially starts, and we will go through them a bit. So personal call setting, that is something that we need to do with our EP here, and that means that we set a goal with them, what they want to achieve and how they want to develop on exchange. Because as you remember from first video, the point of our exchanges is for EP to develop. Then we have outgoing preparation. That is the meeting that needs to happen at least 2 weeks before EP goes to exchange, and it is actually a meeting where we explain to him like everything about ISEC, everything about, I don't know, how he can develop on exchange, everything about to prepare him for that country, for prices, for, I don't know, meeting with ICX, everything. So his experience will be more pleasant if we prepare him, for example, for some difference in culture, for how much money he needs to bring, I don't know, what applications he can use for traveling, etc. So he is fully prepared. And at the end, we need to help them with insurance. Yes, that is that. For host entity, for ICX, they need to deliver these standards. And what is actually this? We will go through everything. Expectation setting is at the beginning, where they need to set expectation with EP, like what will be his job, I don't know, where he will work, when. Expectation setting between ISEC and that EP. Then visa and work permit, they need to help them. Also but also they need to help them with visa and work permit. And without visa, and if EP needs work permit for GT, usually they cannot go to exchange. So that's why this all needs to happen before. Then arrival pickup, when EP comes to some country, ICX is obliged to either pick him up at the airport or just send him directions. So both of these is okay, and by both of these, actually this standard is fulfilled. But just remember that they're not the ones who are responsible for transportation costs from airport to that, I don't know, city or wherever you land. EP is finally responsible for his transportation costs. So just tell him like that. Accommodation, they're also responsible for accommodation. What does it mean? If it says that accommodation, we will go through it later, but accommodation is usually some dorm, host family, or something like that. And please, 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 when you do meetings with EP, set expectations that really we don't offer like some luxury accommodation. The minimums that we should fulfill here are bed and bathroom. So if we fulfill that, then the standard is actually fulfilled. So please be careful about this when you speak with EP about accommodation, to not set too high expectations, because if you know, like if it's not so it's not so expensive, so we cannot offer so luxury accommodation, but it's supposed to be okay. And incoming preparation, as we do outgoing preparation, when EP comes there, he will have incoming preparation with ICX. What does it mean? It means that they're actually preparing him for living there, for, I don't know, also culture shock, prices, maybe some traditional stuff that he should try, etc. So that he's prepared for his exchange. Okay, then for experience standards, these are also all standards that are fulfilled by the ICX. What does this first mean? That ICX is obliged to go with EP on his first day of work to show him how to get there, how to, I don't know, to meet him, for example, with company or with, I don't know, some school or kindergarten where he works. Then ICX also needs to provide some spaces with that opportunity provider, for example, with company or with, I don't know, kindergarten school, so if we can meet them and can actually start working. Then job description, that is the standards where we need actually to fulfill what is said that EP will do. For example, if it says that, I don't know, EP will work 8 hours a day in that and that company, they need to fulfill that. If it says that EP will work, I don't know, one workshop a day with kids, that needs to be fulfilled. So that's it. Working hours is the same. If it says on, you will see, but on our website, that they should be working 8 hours a day, then they should be working 8 hours a day. Duration is just that it needs to be fulfilled. For example, if it says on isec.org that it lasts for 6 weeks, then it needs to last for 6 weeks. If it says that it lasts for 8 weeks, then it lasts for 8 weeks. Then for opportunity benefits, that are actually accommodation, food, if they have computer provided, etc., that they need to fulfill that. Again, everything that is written on ICORG. And departure support, that is the same as arrival pickup. They can do, they can actually go with EP to station, but also they can send him detailed direction and how he can get to airport or bus station, etc., so that he can manage. And on both ways, these standards can be fulfilled. Again, ISEC is not responsible for transportation costs, and that you should always tell to your EPs so they don't have long expectations. And the last standard that is actually provided by us is debrief with ISEC. What does it mean? That in a week that EP is back from exchange, we need to schedule a debrief meeting where we talk about how was it on exchange. We take I don't know, some showcasing materials from EPs, and we try to also keep them, as you remember, in customer flow, and maybe send him on another exchange, or he can become member, come to some conference, etc. So now we're actually here. I wanted to explain what is completed EP. As you remember from first video, when EP goes on exchange, he becomes realized. Then when he finishes exchange, he becomes finished. But what is actually our final goal is for EP to be completed, because that's so. In order for EP to be completed and for us to know that he had good experience, we actually need to fulfill 14 out of 16 standards. But we are, of course, always aiming to fulfill all 16 of them. And what is another thing, that only standards that could not be fulfilled and that he can be still completed are these four. So arrival, pickup, first day of work, working hours, and departure support. That are the only standards that we cannot fulfill, and he will still be completed. But of course, please, please, please always aim together with ICX to 100% of fulfillment of our standards. Okay, but what more? What do we need to do more? First, in order for good experience of EP, we need to have constant synergy between ICX and OGX. So when you approve EP, you need to start having constant communication with ICX in order to check if they fulfilled everything and to align on everything. Then constant communication with EP. And one more important thing that I wanted here to say is that our exchanges are not perfect, guys. We can do all 16 standards. You can be support to EP, you can be everything to EP, but problems will happen. And please, when you prepare your EPs to go on exchange, explain them that we cannot fulfill like perfect exchanges with not problems. But why I am speaking and telling you this now? Because our exchanges are even not meant to be perfect. Our exchanges are meant to be a bit challenging, as you can see. What we do actually practical experience in challenging environments, and that means if EP doesn't have any challenge, he will not even develop. And you have challenges even in your traveling, when you travel alone, and of course you will have some problems of exchange. So please just set good expectation with EPs that they will have some problems, of course, that they are not going to go on perfect exchange with perfect everything, but that's the point of our exchange, that it should be a bit challenging. It is not perfect, and we are of course trying it to be perfect, but it will never be perfect as any vacation that you had. But that is actually the point, for them to be alone and to challenge themselves and at the end to develop. So for the end, I wanted also to leave you with this, that actually our goal is completed and not approved, because when EP is completed, we know that we fulfilled our essence and our goal. And the most important thing is just to give support to our EPs, and that is literally more than half of satisfaction. So just give them support, be there for them, and that's it. You do not have to solve every little of their problems, because that is not the point, but the point is that we give support to our EPs. So that's it for this video. For the end, I wanted to leave you with our stand, that we are the ones, and that Austria, I hope that Austria will really hear us with our good exchanges next week. See you in the next video.